Hello, everyone. Welcome to May. That means that we are in Sexual Assault Prevention Month, and I'm here with the Kawartha Sexual Assault Center Executive Director, Reem Ali. Hello, how are you doing?
Hi, Alisha. Good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Now, Reem, this is a very special year for you for Sexual Assault Prevention Month because this is your first time experiencing Sexual Assault Prevention Month as the Interim Executive Director for KSAC. So, how are you feeling surrounding that?
I'm feeling very much immersed in it. It's indeed a special year for me to be witnessing this from inside KSAC. So hearing from you about all the ideas leading up to May has been really exciting, and just knowing the amount of work and effort that it takes to build up an entire month of social media presence of advocacy of promoting the important work that we do. So yeah, it's quite special, and I'm very grateful to be with KSAC during this time.
And you actually started your own campaign with "It's Friday and I'm Still" with the hashtag "It's Friday and I'm Still." How are you feeling about that? Because I know we did the launch last week with Community Race Relations Committee and PARN.
Yeah. I'm so grateful to be part of that campaign. It really started with a conversation between Angela Connors from CRRC and Dane Record from PARN, and then they looped me in, and I'm so grateful for that. Yeah, it's always empowering to feel like you're part of a group that's moving forward with an important message. And so likewise, with our community of sexual assault centers, May feels that way for us. It feels like it's a time when we're coming together, behind an important message. And so that's kind of what that campaign feels like as well. It's an opportunity for us to bring people to talk about issues that they feel are challenging for them, opening up the space for folks to chime in and feel included. So yeah, I think that, both that campaign as well as, our efforts during Sexual Assault Prevention Month are very similar in that regard.
Hashtag still need consent. And so, Reem, I want to know for you, what does Sexual Assault Prevention Month mean to you? And does this meaning differ from this year versus previous years?
Yeah, I think, I think it's really important to have these recurring moments on an annual basis, recurring events, because it's kind of a time for us to stop and evaluate, how we've been doing the past year. How have we been able to move the needle on, shift the conversation around sexual assault and gender-based violence. And unfortunately, this year is a year, marks just over a year of us being through, experiencing the pandemic, and the effects of that, what we've been seeing, as trends arising as a result of the pandemic, particularly for survivors of sexual assault and gender-based violence. So, this year in particular, or this May in particular is a bit of a year in review for us. What have we seen over the past year, which for us really translated into an increased caseload, an increased number of survivors reaching out, an increased level, unfortunately, of gender-based violence that we've been seeing in our community.
And so, what makes Sexual Assault Prevention Month more important than other years? Now, it's important every year, but what makes it maybe a little bit extra important for you this year?
It's a time for us to highlight, well, first of all, our achievements, right? So as a sexual assault center, to stop and think about, what the last few months have been for us during the pandemic, but to also reflect on the continuous challenges for folks who are survivors of sexual assault. So for me, this is an important time of reflection, where we stand, how much work we still have to do, but also how much we've been able to survive and achieve together over the past few months. As you know very well, our staff has been really working nonstop to provide continuous services, mainly remotely, but sometimes in person when really needed. And so it's been a lot for folks, at KSAC to work with. It's been, it's heavy work. And we're happy to do it because we know that it's important. It's also a time when we're reminded of, all the systemic challenges that continue to exist, right? So as you and we all know, and we always talk about, is that it would be amazing if our work was no longer needed, because that would mean that, the issues that we are facing and we're helping survivors heal through will no longer exist. And that would be, a dream come true. But, it's a reminder for us that every time we are, reminding ourselves of May as Sexual Assault Prevention Month, it means that sexual assault is still happening and there are survivors who continue to need support on their healing journey. So, it's kind of a bittersweet moment, because you want to celebrate the achievements, as sexual assault centers together, but at the same time, it's really a reminder of how much work still needs to be done.
Mm-hmm. And so, with the introduction of multiple 24/7 crisis supports that our center offers, and within your brief time here thus far, how has our center really shifted within this pandemic that we're in, and whether that's with the clients or the staff and how they're supporting themselves? What are some things that you've noticed?
Yeah, multiple things. So first of all, speaking to the 24/7 supports that we have, last June, we launched the 24/7 web chat service, and that has been, incredibly meaningful for survivors out there. At a time when you can't really interact with folks in person, it really has been a lifeline for many. And we have certainly seen and continue to see a very large number of people access these services on a daily basis. And I really want to thank, our team leads and our staff who are overseeing the web chat, but also our volunteers, because the web chat is heavily run by volunteers who are there 24/7 on different shifts, carrying that heavy work. And so I really want to thank them for their efforts. But yes, the web chat has been instrumental for survivors. Our crisis phone line as well, 24/7. We as staff run it during work hours, and then it's transferred over to our sister SACs to take care of. And that's been really important as well. So those two supports have seen an increase in numbers, but the increase in numbers really is across the board. We've seen a doubling in the number of clients that have received advocacy and accompaniment services. We've seen an increase in the number of clients who are seeking individual counseling. And unfortunately, our limited capacity is not allowing us to serve them in a timely manner. And so we have a wait list of clients that are waiting to be served. But, having said that, it's been challenging during this time as a not-for-profit, to be kind of navigating the funding challenges, the staffing challenges, the challenges around being an essential service that is provided remotely online from home. And then, of course, for staff, doing this kind of work, it was always better to do it together, right? Mm-hmm. Because you may have a difficult call, or feel like you want to engage with your colleagues to discuss a particular case, or just talk things out. And it was easy to just open the door to your office and see people around you who you can talk to. And that's no longer available to us. So it's also important to make sure that that's available, even if in a different way, but still available to staff. So as you know, we are always connected through, on different online platforms, and that's been really good. We try to meet when it is safe to do so. But, I do really, hats off to the staff for still being able to work through these challenging times and still deliver services, even when they have to do it from home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, huge shout outs to the staff. And it's not just the staff saying shout outs to themselves, but also the community has really come together in so many different aspects to shout out their support for KSAC, for the services that we've been providing. But for people who are out there listening right now and want to be an upstander to sexual violence, especially during Sexual Assault Prevention Month, Reem, what is your message to the upstanders of sexual violence in our communities?
Our message is that we are here. We are still here, and we will continue to be here. Reach out. You know, if you see something, if you know something, if you know someone who needs support, you know, reach out to us, even just for information. We're happy to provide you with information. If you are a survivor, please reach out. We're happy to provide you with services. Yes, you know, we will navigate those services with you, but we'll eventually find the right pathway for you that is most appropriate to your needs. So know that we are here and we continue to be here, and we're constantly trying to improve our services and to improve our presence. So that's my message. You know, it's a time to remind everyone that, you know, the service is available to them, and for anyone is welcome to reach out, whether it's for information or for services.
And I think that's so important. If you're going to be either an upstander to sexual violence or supporting someone who has been directly impacted by sexual and gender-based violence, to know what it's like to access those supports and resources. So to know what it's like to consensually slide into our web chat DMs, you know, what's the layout and how do you know that you're talking to someone? And I think it's so important for upstanders as well as the supporters to know what that's like. Reem, do you have any message to people who are directly supporting someone who has been impacted impacted by sexual or gender-based violence, and there's this disconnect, this physical disconnection?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, for those folks, the challenge might be that they themselves have lost their own support networks. So, you know, when you're supporting someone, you need your own support networks to lean on. And in many cases, many of us have lost that. And so to continue to support someone, you know, becomes slightly more challenging. And, you know, this is something that is constantly on our minds. We're constantly thinking of how can we support supporters as well as survivors. And so we'll be putting some workshops together, webinars together for folks who are supporters as well as survivors. My message would be, you know, to try to rebuild that network in one way or another, even if it's online, even if it's with other folks who you can just pick up the phone and call. I think that's important because in order to, you know, continue to be able to provide that support, you have to feel supported yourself. You have to feel supported. Self-care is important during this time. It's easy to feel like you're just constantly busy, you're constantly responding and reacting to our reality, our consistently evolving reality. So just be mindful of that. You don't want to run out of that energy because that person you're supporting then is also going to lose their network of support.
That's exactly it. I had a friend at the beginning of this pandemic that said to me, okay, Alisha, you're working really hard, but what are you doing for yourself? And what's going to happen when you can't work hard anymore? And who's that going to impact? And yeah, so that impact of not being able to support people because you're not taking care of yourself is yeah, you need to be able to take care of yourself in order to take care of other people. And Reem, I'm just going to throw up a very special day that's coming up May 7th. And this is, if I can get it to switch there, hashtag no one asks for it. And so on May 7th, we are all going to be wearing purple in support of Sexual Assault Prevention Month to show that we care and to spread the message that no one asks for it. No one asks to be sexually assaulted. No one asks to be harmed. And so as this image is on the screen here, Reem, what is your message to the survivors in our community who are navigating life right now in a pandemic as a survivor? What's the message you have for them?
You know, you're stronger than you think, and you know, you have the supports available to you. Reach out. We're here for you. We're here to support you. And we'll all do the best that we can to provide you with the services that you need. So I do also want to thank you, Alisha, and the Prevention Education team for putting what's coming up during this month together for our social media campaign, and to the staff and volunteers at KSAC for all the wonderful work that they do to support survivors in our community.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Interim Executive Director Reem Ali. And for all of you out there, our 24/7 supports are available via our website. You can head right on to kawarthasexualassaultcenter.com to get connected to our services, as well as all of our 24/7 supports, including our web chat. And of course, we have all of our social medias, whether that's Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, or TikTok. We are all on there. Throughout the month, this month, hashtag no one asks for it, hashtag sexual assault prevention month, hashtag it's Friday and I'm still a survivor, a mother, a woman, hashtag still need consent. We will be having a fundraiser going on our Facebook page, and we will be doing giveaways every single week. So be sure to stay tuned and stay connected to our center. Thank everyone so much, and get ready for Sexual Assault Prevention Month.